Now, obviously, your husband is very wealthy and successful. Would you have ever considered marrying a poor man?
You know, it's not that he's fabulously wealthy. You know, he's comfortable. We both work together as a team, and now we're busy awaiting the arrival and the birth of baby Fritz.
Now, Robert Shapiro was at your wedding. Were you ever friends with OJ Simpson? And what do you think about? No,
God,
never
no.
friends with him.
God, no. Are you kidding me? I used to see Nicole around at a restaurant called Mezzaluna. I used to see her around. She was vivacious, young, very pretty. You know, I just can't imagine anyone wanting to end her life.
Are you following this at all? Like, do you have an opinion on who might have done this to her?
I just think all evidence leads to him. He's a smarmy guy, and like word has it, you know, through the tabloids that he's admitted doing it, and you know, in jail. They never did find the weapon. I'm sure Kris Kardashian is hiding it.
She's got it in her purse. America's Next Top Model Cycle 23 crowned their winner last week. Do you still watch do you still watch the show?
I have not seen the show. I heard Rita Ora got the boot. She should rehire me, and I'd turn that whole enterprise into like #1 show on TV. I could host that show with my eyes blindfolded.
So would you consider hosting now that Rita's gone and they're looking for a host? Would you consider doing that, and what would you do differently?
Well, I would just bring experience and like pizzazz to the show. You have to know what you're talking about. Rita Ora was never a model. I think the sponsor chooses the model because it's all, you know, all these shows are rigged.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced that when you were on the show? Like that the sponsors really had like the final say?
Of course they do. Of course they do.
So it's really not like how people think that it's really open for everyone. I mean, they have pretty much picked the winner.
No, all the other girls are just, you know, TV fodder for people, you know, and entertainment. Oh, let's get a transgender. Yeah, they'll make all the runways working in the world. Just keep it real, ANTM. Just keep it real. Sponsor's going to pick the winner anyway.
So how early on do you think they picked that? I mean, like how early on is a girl selected and the rest is just, you know?
Probably from the very beginning.
So the whole season is really fixed. I mean, it's just they know who's going to win the whole
time. For sure.
Yeah.
I can't get sued, you know, by saying this because I lived through it and I saw what was happening. I was on there for 5 seasons. Maybe Tyra will come in next year and give the crew something more than a bunch of Big Mac burgers from McDonald's for the Christmas presents. I remember it was the first or second season when there was an African American girl on there, and I basically, you know, they wanted to vote her off, and I stood up and I held my ground and I said, well, if she goes, I go.
Okay, so you were tired of the game and it being fixed, and you really felt like she should stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did what I could do.
Tyra is the new host of America's Got Talent. I have to ask you about this, of course. Are you still in contact with her, and do you think...
No, we were never girlfriends. You know, she was my boss for a minute, and who'd she replace, Heidi Klum?
Oh, no, she replaced Nick Cannon.
Oh, she did?
Now, Nick Cannon was known for making funny comments on America's Got Talent. Do you think Tyra has a good enough sense of humor to make witty comments throughout?
No.
No.
Congratulations to her. She just had a baby, or that somebody else carried. Doubt if she would have a baby to lose her girlish figure. I don't think she's got the bones for it.
Do you think it might not work out with her being the host on the show like that?
Nah, I give it a few weeks.
Paris Fashion Week was last week, and it starred supermodels Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and Gigi Hadid. Should any of these girls be considered supermodels, and why or why not?
No, I don't think they're supermodels. They're not. You know, if you've got a hit TV show, you too can be on the cover of American Vogue.
What about the Hadid sisters? Do you follow them or at all, or do you think it's just...
I don't follow anybody. When I look at a picture, I don't see, Gigi Hadid. To me, she's a lovely girl with too many moles on her body. But look, if you see how thin Bella and Gigi are right now, even Kendall, 6 months, they're going to be emaciated. One of them is going to come down with anorexia nervosa for sure. Let's give models a fair shot just because they don't have social media ratings. And, you know, they weren't born with silver spoons jammed up their butts. But I've never heard any of them speak. Have you? You have to be able to deliver and keep conversation going, even to do a radio show as great as yours.
Yes, thank you.
It's true.
Now, I know you can't talk about the Bill Cosby case, but can you just tell us, is it still progressing? Is everything still in motion?
No, the Bill Cosby case is still progressing. The person that I am suing is the attorney that was Bill Cosby's attorney, is Marty Singer. And I am suing him for slandering me and calling me a liar. That's all I'm going to say. So that is still in progress because you can't call me a liar.
Yeah. So
especially when I got raped.
Yeah.
And I told people at the time, and I tried to write about it in my book, and the publishers wouldn't let me write about it in my book.
Are you saying
everyone was so afraid of standing up to Bill Cosby. Well, I'm not.
So you're saying that you tried to get this out sooner, like with your book, and the publishers wouldn't let you do it?
That's correct.
So you had to wait until he got exposed.
I went on the Howard Stern show, and I told Howard Stern that he wasn't a nice guy when he started asking me, "Did you ever have sex with Bill Cosby?" And I just said, let's put it this way: he's not a nice guy. I didn't want to just. It was still so fresh and sick in my stomach, and I was embarrassed, and I didn't want to be character victimized. I'm past that now because once you beat cancer, you can beat anything. I will say stay tuned on this case. I've got a brilliant attorney, Lisa Bloom, that is handling my case, and we're still fighting. We're still in the running on that one.
So when was the Howard Stern interview? What year was that? Do you remember? Or around what year?
I don't.
So you wanted to say more at that time, but I
did. Yeah. I did, but I felt that, since this whole thing came out, my work hasn't been as frequent as it used to be. I think rape rape is so prevalent around the world. Even in families, that it's a taboo subject that people it's a cringeworthy taboo subject that people don't like to know about.
Yeah.
Or they do, they just want to peek through their fingers.
Yeah.
It's taboo, but I'm fighting for women's rights. Because November 12th, when that article in the New York Times came out, and I saw similar situations to the first 12 women that came out in press, that's when my husband showed me the article in the New York Times. That's when I knew I had to speak up.
So the book,
to be honest with you, I buried the whole thing for so deep and so long, and when it came out, I had to go through 2 years of therapy and nightmares, and I'm still going through it. But. Yeah. I'd like to talk to you again after the case, so I can give you like a blow by blow, because I can't. I'm really under attorney client privilege right now. I can't really mention more than that what I already have to you.
Now, what celebrity have you enjoyed meeting the least?
Donald Trump.
Oh.
I met Donald Trump years ago, with his wife Melania, and he chortled out, "Oh, you've got to be the most fantastic legs I've ever seen in my life." Can you imagine saying that to another woman with your wife sitting there? I was like, "Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?"
Where were you guys at?
At a Vera Wang fashion show in New York City.
What year was that approximately?
I don't remember, but I know Oprah Winfrey was sitting a few seats away from me. She might have heard it.
So you're at a Vera Wang fashion show. He was sitting next to his wife, and then he saw you, and he complimented your legs.
Yeah, but in a boisterous, disgusting way. Those have got to be the most fantastic legs I've ever seen in my entire life. He was purple in his face when he said that too, and I was like, ugh. At least he wasn't using his hands in that okay. When he sits there and preaches and he goes okay with his fingers. I can't stand him.
So were you just sitting there, or you were modeling?
I was all by myself. I had a beautiful demure black dress and stockings and, sensible heels on, and, I just, looked at him, and I was like, okay.
Oh, wow. So he is definitely the chauvinist that people paint him to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
For sure, dude. But that's all. I'm really not here to promote myself. I really wanted to do your radio show because I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you. That is awesome to hear.
I mean that.
I'm a big fan of yours too.